Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Everybody, can you hear me?
Yes, sister, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. So let's begin our webinar with Surah Al-Fatiha. So ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, welcome to today's webinar entitled Data Analysis for Legal Research by Dr. Munirah Muhammad. So before we begin the presentation, I would like to introduce our speaker today. Dr. Munirah Muhammad is a senior lecturer at the School of Law, research fellow at Center for Testing, Measurement and Appraisal, CETMA, and associate fellow at Legal and Justice Research Center of University Utara Malaysia. Additionally, she graduated with Bachelor of Laws with honors, Master of Comparative Laws, and postgraduate in Diploma in Sharia Law and Practice from International Islamic University Malaysia, Chartered Professional in Islamic Finance, CIFP from INCEIF, and PG Diploma in Higher Education Learning and Teaching from IIUM. Upon completing her legal privilege at a prominent legal firm in Kuala Lumpur, she practiced law at the same firm for 3 years. Her research areas are information technology law, cyber law, evidence and procedural laws, and research methodologies. And she frequently engaged in research areas of cyber crimes, cyber laws, Islamic finance, and published in various reputable academic articles. For your information, at the end of this webinar, we will have a Q&A session. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to today's presenter by typing your questions in the comment section. You may say in your questions at any time during the presentation, and then we will collect these and address them. Or you can ask directly to Dr. Munirah during the Q&A session. So I think without the further ado, I would like to invite our presenter today, Dr. Munirah Muhammad, to present her presentation. Please welcome, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning, everyone. So we have participants on Zoom, as well as I was made to understand that we are going live on YouTube. Okay, it gives me great pleasure to be here today. A lot of reasons why the arrangement for coming back to speak to IIUM community, as well as my own UUM community. The reason why it makes it so smooth and easy is because I am coming back to my alma mater. Okay, as has been mentioned by Sister Fatiha just now, I am an IIUM alumnus. Yeah, and an institution which is very close to my heart. And I always make it a point to come back, and whenever there is a request, whenever there is an arrangement that makes it easy for me to come back to the community, for example. So I would like to share my screen. And again, before I begin, thank you so much to Center for Postgraduate Studies of IIUM for coordinating this event, for hosting this event, and for the entire researchers community. Okay. Here it is. Okay, I think you can see my screen. The topic that we are having today is data analysis for legal research. Yeah, I think you can see it entirely now. And as has been introduced, I am Munirah Muhammad. Currently, I am affiliated to the School of Law, of College of Law, Government and International Studies of the University of Utara Malaysia. Before I go deeper into what is it that we are planning to go through in this 2-hour session, is for data analysis for legal research. Now, before I go further, I would like to share with everyone, and I've seen the the list of participants as well. And since this is an event for the entire community, and not only legal researchers, if you are a legal researcher, for example, doing masters or PhD or a researcher, for that matter, this would be for you. But legal research cannot stand on its own. Why? Because it is always interdisciplinary. Law cannot exist in a vacuum. Many other disciplines today are also doing policy studies, they're doing guideline studies, even economics, even engineering, even architecture. All are interrelated with law. That is why I have proposed this topic to be, even though it is for legal type of research, and it is initially intended for law students, but then again we realized that not only law students are carrying out legal research. Probably we are carrying out economic research, but economics are always guided upon governance rules, financial documents, the ones that we need to submit, for example. Likewise, when let's say health or public health, also there are interrelationship with legal research as well. Okay, having said that, I would like to welcome everyone to this webinar today. Even though we do not think that we are doing legal research, but actually our coverage or our there will be a scope of our research. It could be falling within the legal aspects of it. All right, so I would like to bring everyone back, because myself, every time I take a look at the IIUM picture, IIUM photos, IIUM news, it will still touch my heart, because I have been there for so many years. Oh, I forgot to put matriculation center here. If not, matriculation center will be 1 year. LLB will be at ICOL. Matriculation center was in Lemah Pantai, 1 year. LLB at ICOL for 4 years. MCL at ICOL for 1 year, for 6 years. And DSLP at Law Center of IIUM for 1 year. So in total, 7 years, my life has been dedicated to IIUM. Like I said, it's a big part of me, big part of shaping who I am today. It is not only to itemize what I got from IIUM, but it is to tell to everybody here that who I am today is actually shaped by what we went through. Every person that we meet, everything that happened to us, people come and go, for example, our friends, our foes, our enemies, our people that we meet by chance, for example, they are all who shape our direction, the ones that we are going forward in our life, for example. Now, of course, I did not stop there, because my initial days after completing my secondary school, my initial days went to IIUM, which made me a very strong person. And later on, after this, after the SLP, I went to practice law. After a few years, I decided to join University of Utara Malaysia as a staff. I joined UUM as a staff, and later on, UUM sent me to do my PhD in law at UiTM, secured in the year 2016. And after completing my PhD, I went back to serve UUM, my affiliation, my institution that I am serving now, which after that, because I also have this passion for Islamic finance. During my 3.5 years practicing law, I did entirely Islamic finance. So I said, now I have already majored cyber law for my PhD. Why not? I pursue something. This is a Chartered Islamic finance professional from INSEF, secured in the year 2018. Again, these are the things that shaped me into who I am today. As well as once I joined UUM, there is a rule that new lecturers will take up the postgraduate diploma in higher education, learning and teaching in the year 2020 at University of Malaysia. I am sharing this today because I realized there are many postgraduate students here, and there could also be undergraduate students here. Hopefully, this will inspire. This will inspire our members, our participants of the webinar today, about how shall I say, what things that we can achieve more after this. Now, I'm not saying that I am successful, but I am saying that the journey is not yet over. Likewise, everybody here, if you think that PhD is the last thing that we would want to do, that might not be correct. That is inaccurate. Why? Because after that, we will be wanting more. We will be venturing into other things. If you are doing your masters now, postgraduate students, sometimes you're thinking that it's so difficult. But life goes on. There are so many things that will help to shape us into who I am today. Suddenly, I'm speaking like an ustazah. No, not really, because what is happening, the things that went through my life is something that I always tell to people, hopefully that you inspire more people what to do, what to achieve, what is the direction after that, for example. And I'm still doing things that I like. I'm still doing things that I think this should be suitable and relevant for my career, my purpose, the things that are close to my heart. All right. So having said that, I would like to, all right. Just a little bit, come on here. Okay. Aims of the session today. The two big components of the topic is data analysis for legal research, for example. So number one is, the aim of this session is I wish to share with everybody the conceptualization of the process of data analysis. What is data analysis? Is it by going through, 20 interviews, or we have 20 court cases, and then 20, 20 articles that we find? Is that all? No, we have to analyze these documents. We have to analyze this data. And that data can take the form of many formats, as you can see at item 2 there. Number one, I want to conceptualize the process of data analysis. And number two, I want to demonstrate the application of Atlas TI software for analyzing data for legal research. Nothing to sell here, you don't have to worry. I'm just sharing my experience because Atlas TI is one of the qualitative data analysis softwares that I use entirely for my PhD, and also after that, until today, I'm still using Atlas TI because it helped me greatly in my legal research. It helped me greatly in my other research as well, that I wish to share the potential of using this software for analyzing legal documents. Number one, literature. Any literature that you can find. Now, when I say legal documents, literature, then you might be thinking that this is also applicable to your own field. For example, any literature in your own field, this uses the same principle. So if it is for legal research, any literature on that particular subject matter that we are investigating. Number two, statutes and cases, for example. Number three, survey data. Number four, interviews. Number four, interviews. So these are the common types of documents that will be analyzed or that will be collected for the purpose of legal research. However, having said legal research, you can also generalize whatever that I am sharing today with your own type of data as well. If, for example, I like to give example for finance or economics, because Kuliah of Economics and Management Sciences is just a neighbor to ICOL, yeah, but and we just cross the bridge, right? There can be two bridges that we choose how to get cross to the other side. So financial statements, annual returns, for example, documents put into FSS software can also be analyzed. What I am focusing on would be the textual aspects of it lah, yeah, not the numbering aspects of it. Okay, so everybody clear about what is it that we are going to do today? Number one is we're going to take a look at the general process of data analysis as mentioned or as introduced by Walcott. Yeah? As well, I will show you the potential of using FSS software for analyzing data for legal research, as mentioned by Muhammad. Yeah, Muhammad is actually me. Yeah, I'm Munirah Muhammad, and it's an article published in 2013 for my part of my PhD research, yeah, which I feel very honored and excited to be sharing with everybody. But before we begin, proper, I would like to share one link in the chat box. It will take only 1 minute, okay, 1 or 2 minutes. I hope you can help me to fill in the form, because this will be used as our sample data, sample survey data. I'm gonna put in the chat box. Please help to answer. Okay. I'm going to give you, I think, 2 minutes. Okay, can you please help me to answer this survey form in the, let me just go, time to answer survey form. Okay. Okay, 2 minutes and counting. Please help me. Only 2 minutes, don't worry. Very short questions. Did you get the link? No? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have another 1 minute for our friends to fill in. So far, we have seven entries. Nine entries. Okay, thank you so much for those who have already helped me. Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, we are going to come back to this after my sharing, okay, when it comes to survey data in a short while. Okay, let us begin then. Okay, now the first question is, what is data analysis? What is data analysis? Can you help me by typing in the chat box? Because I want to read out your answers. What is data analysis? 1 minute, everyone. Yeah. Can you help me by typing? Because this is the a webinar on data analysis for legal research. But what is data analysis? Are you here with me? I mean, is everybody on the same page as what I am thinking about data analysis? Marshita says it is to collect data for legal research, okay? But actually, Marshita, it is data analysis is different from data collection. Yeah? Data collection is the process of going to gather data relevant to your research questions and objective. Once you get the data, you have to analyze them. Okay, Mazlina is to get certain conclusion from some data. What is data analysis? UMZ says the analysis of the data is like, I like to tell this to my students, it is changing the subject and predicate. Yeah? Data analysis is the analysis of the data. Extract the information, okay, good. The answer by Atifa is good. It is, how shall I say this? One of the things that we do in the process of data analysis, but that's not entirely. It's like asking, what is an elephant? And some of you are answering, it is fine. Yeah, it is fine because I also do that from time to time. It's an animal with big feet. It's an animal with a trunk. It's an animal with, so, but nobody is explaining what is data analysis yet. Yeah, quantitative research approach, extract the information. Yes, to analyze the data, get from the survey. Okay, good. Analysis process to describe, illustrate, and evaluate data. Yeah? Analyze the data collected from data analysis, converting the data to information, procedures for data analysis. Okay, good. To evaluate the participants' data. Okay, maybe it's the next level because we are at the stage of data analysis first. To answer the research question is the objective of data analysis, but it's not yet data analysis. Yeah? The purpose of data analysis, that's good. I think everybody is participating very, very well. Yeah? Using some process to obtain new data from collected data. Okay. I think Amiro is actually saying using some process to obtain findings from collected data. Okay, that would be correct. Okay? But to obtain new data from collected data, then probably is because data is the information that we have collected. Okay? And now what are we going to do with that data? Have you ever come across a situation that you do a Google survey form, you have that data, you feel so excited. It's like, wow, people have answered my survey form. But it is not entirely ready to be presented unless you have analyzed that data first. Khalid is saying, okay, changing the meaningless and raw data to meaningful and mature information. Okay, thank you so much. I would say all your answers that you have mentioned is one way or another, probably they are entirely correct. But I can show that you are already on the right track. You are in the right direction. Yeah? Meaning, yeah, in one way or another, you are already thinking what is data analysis. The process goes, because first thing first, the how shall I say this, the usual or the standard process, we come up with a proposal, you decide what methodology you want to undertake, you do the literature review, and then you go for data collection, and then when you come back, we don't know what to do with it. Or, you need to analyze for the purpose of generating the findings. The objective of doing data analysis is for you to understand and make sense of that data. Some of you have mentioned these exact words, making sense, converting from raw data into meaningful data. If we read research methodological books, data analysis means the process of making sense of the data, the process of understanding the data, the process of converting from your left-hand side to your right-hand side. Walcott in 2009 has introduced the idea that the process of data analysis is you want to understand the data. That was when I said, I did the Google survey form just now, and you have helped me to fill in the form. That is raw data. Yeah, raw data. What other raw data we can find in a legal research, for example, literature, interviews. Yeah, what else? You can have information on statutes, definitely statutes, cases, okay? Survey data. When we have those information, we feel so excited. It's wow, I've already completed data collection. But that does not mean our research is complete, because it is in that form. It is in the form of the source data. It could be textual, audio, video, images, and others. But we need to convert them. Change the format, because we need to understand the format into the format of an interpreted data, a meaningful interpreted data to be included into our research report. Yeah, so it's very easy. Yeah? Data collection means you want to change the format of the raw data into the format of your research report. But I do agree with you, somewhere deep inside of your minds, you might be thinking, it's easier said than done. Yeah? Mudahnya, yeah, it's easier said. Yeah, you want to change the format from raw into interpreted data, but life is not always as easy as it seems. Okay? It means that, how shall I say this? We know from that data we need to put into report, but what do we do in the first place? What do we do next? What do we do the next stages? Okay, for example, so some of your friends have mentioned it is to collect data. Yeah, collect data is before you go for analysis. But even though I say before, the generic way is you collect data first and then you analyze. But you don't have to wait until you complete data collection. Sometimes you would have done it 2 or 3 data you already have. You analyze them straight away, but at the same time, you are still collecting data. That can be done. Yeah? In fact, that is the highly recommended way how we do it for any research out there as well. You don't wait until you have completed all the data collection, for example. Unless if there is a requirement for you to do so. For example, survey data, again, normally we would wait until the end. You don't wait in the middle. Yeah? But for example, interviews, statutes that you have collected, cases that you have collected, for example, newspaper articles that you have collected, yeah, for example, they can also be analyzed straight away, yeah, without we going for a completion of the data collection. So what do you do? In your chat box just now, in our chat box, you have already mentioned, some of you, I can sense one person have mentioned it is to answer the research question. That's correct. Yeah, that is correct, because that is the step number 1. What do you do? Because you cannot be analyzing data unless you are clear what is your research questions and objective. About 3 weeks ago, I have presented a webinar on aligning research questions, instrument, analysis, and reporting in the private group of doctorate support group. Is anybody here not yet a member of doctorate support group? It's a group on Facebook. Yeah? We did a Facebook live onto there, and we have garnered quite a number of participants as well. But why? Because I find that I'm an advisor for qualitative research, because people always come to me to ask for opinion. And I do realize some of the problems that people have is to align between the research questions with the instrument, with the analysis process, with the reporting. In the end, they are reporting something that is not telling the research questions and objectives. So therefore, I would like to clap hands, okay, for everybody who have responded in my to my question just now, okay, because you have chipped in, you have put in a lot of information that describes what is data analysis. My job here is to collect all your answers and to make it understandable format so that you will know. Okay, number one is definitely we have to refer to the research question and objective first. What is it that you want to find from the data? Do you want to find the elements of hacking? Because everybody here just now helped me to answer a simple Google form on hacking. Yeah, my question was hacking, about computer hacking. What is computer hacking and why is computer hacking illegal? Yeah, for example, it's been outlawed by the Malaysian laws. My two questions: what is hacking and why is it illegal? So therefore, from your answers, I would need to find your conceptualization of hacking and your understanding of why it is illegal, yeah, for example, which brings me to the next step. So what do? I need to describe your answers. Yeah? I need to interpret your answers, which we'll be demonstrating live in a short while, yeah, about your answers. That's why I asked you to put not your real name, please put your nickname so that we can show how does it appear, yeah, in the analysis, yeah, later on. Yeah. But apart from that, we will also be looking at other types of data as well. You want to go through the data so that you can get that information. Okay, let me just give an example. Yeah, an example. You remember when I talked about the importance of research questions and objectives just now? Let us all imagine into this screen that we are sharing. Yeah. My research questions are threefold: yellow colored, blue colored, and red colored. Let us just imagine, yeah? Because if I put textual here, then you might think that it's too long and everything. So I represent my ideas for research question 1 in yellow colored, research question 2 in red colored, and research question 3 in blue colored. Yeah? So when I take a look at my data, what are my data? I can have 5 acts of parliament, 5 treatises, 5 literature, 5 interview transcripts, 5 survey entries, or 5 what else? Handsets, 5 newspaper articles, or I can have a combination, 1 statute, yeah, 1 statute, yeah, and then 1 court case, 1 newspaper article, 1 journal article, 1 interview transcript. Okay, this is just an example, but at every single data set that we have, they are telling us stories about our research questions 1, 2, and 3. And by that, I have also demonstrated here the different colored points in each of the data sets. For example, the statute, it explains to me what is hacking. Conceptualization, sorry, yellow colored. Okay, what is hacking? Why is hacking illegal? What is the punishment of hacking? For example, okay? So number 1, the yellow colored point, I find, here is the definition of hacking. Likewise, I find the definition in the other aspects as well, okay? In the other data sets as well. Likewise, red colored points, why is it illegal? Okay, here, it mentions two times, number 1 and number 2. It could probably be, it is to respect the rights of other people. Yeah, it is for security. It is for public order, for example. Yeah, why it is illegal. So they've been mentioning, we go and meet people, we go and interview, and we ask, why do you think is hacking illegal? So they give this answer. So we label it accordingly. So these particular points, the ones that you find, these points are repetitive in those data sets that you have. Is everybody okay? Can you still follow me? Is this clear? I hope this is explanatory of my intention to share with you. Yeah? And likewise, the other points as well. Sometimes the points will be repeated in the same data set. For example, here, okay, 2 times this person was mentioning about the reason it is illegal. Here, the definition of hacking is mentioned a few times. Likewise here. So in the end, what do we get? What do we get in the end is you want to compile, because we go through our data, we have 5 documents, for example, and from each of these documents, we do the highlighting and we label it accordingly. And now we want to call back, or we want to compile all the statements into the format, into the grouping of the compilation. So you will see here the yellow colored points, they are actually coming from the different data sets. Why do we do this? The reason being, in our chapter 1, for example, we have already mentioned there will be 3 research questions. For example, 3 objectives. Okay? So in our findings, there will be 3 major findings. Does it make sense? Of course, it makes sense. Why? Because your research report, the major findings will always synchronize with how many research objectives and questions that you have. Yeah, so having said that, 3 research questions I initially set out. I now go through my data to find the answers to that 3 research questions. Why? Because I want to report in my research report the 3 major findings. Okay, I hope everybody is still okay. Let me just go through the chat box. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. So I hope you can imagine what I am sharing here. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay. Yeah. That one is for me to share with you the idea, but in reality, how does it do? Okay, how do we do it? Not how does it do? How do we do it? Yeah? You have 4 data sets. Data set number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay? So at each of these data sets that we have, we now find the important points. For example, if you see 4 different colors here, it means I have 4 major research questions. 4 research questions. What I do, I need to go through each of my data to find the relevant answers for that question. So here I find blue colored points, red colored points, green colored points. Likewise, red, blue, yellow. Yellow, green, blue, red, yellow, and green. So it's still the same, meaning I go through my documents, for example, oops, here is my document. And what I do is I will go through the document and I will do the highlighting. Why? Because that's how we do it. That's how we find the important points from your different data sources. So we group them accordingly. So in the end, how will the report findings or report all the findings will look like? It will look like this. There will be the compilation of research question 1 answers, compilation of research question 2 answers, compilation of research question 3 answers, and research question 4 answers. Is everybody still okay? Are you still following me? Okay, so I hope this is something that we can imagine how to do this as well. It's a good question that Siti Mashita is asking. How to do that? How to get these important points from the data that we have into the research reports or findings. I would like to share with you a few strategies. Strategy number 1, colored paper and scissors. Our data, we will print them out on colored papers, and then we will use scissors. You will say, are you sure? Is this doable? It is very much doable. A lot of people have used this strategy and they managed to come up with a report. So what they do, if they go for different data, let me just say interviews, you have a question for your interview participants. You have 10 of them and you will print out participant number 1, pink color, participant number 2, red color, participant number 3, green color, for example. Different colors will indicate different persons. Now, we go for question number 1. Question number 1 is, what is the definition? Example, what is the definition? I will cut through that paper, the section that talks about it, and put in envelopes. So that second stage is you put into envelopes. And I will proceed with the other documents as well, with the other questions as well. So in the end, there will not be any more papers here, or only the parts that are not relevant, or the parts that are not falling within our research questions and objective. So you will only cut out the sections that talk about the important points. Yeah? And those important points will be inserted or added to the envelopes. Yeah? In the end, the envelopes will be quite thick, containing small pieces of paper from different colors. Yeah? Why different colors? Because different interview participants, for example. This can be replicated to statutes as well. Statute number 1, statute number 2, cases number 1, article number 1, article number 2. For example, a lot of people are doing that and a lot of people have already completed. Okay, now I'm going to open envelope number 1. And envelope blue colored is for the definition, because my research question number 1 is definition. I'm going to put it into my write-up. I'm going to empty my table, open the envelope, rearrange all the documents, and then all the small pieces of paper. And from there, I will rearrange them. Why rearrange? Because we need to see how many people agree to, not how many people, how many thoughts are there. You can have mountains of paper, small mountains of paper, like it cannot be big mountain, kan? Small mountains of paper defining computer, yeah, as a machine for storing information. Another document, another compilation of paper. Definition of computer is a machine for processing information. The third mountain of pieces of paper is defining computers as a machine for storing and processing information. Can you imagine this? Yeah, so depending on our research questions, for those research questions, there will be different answers. Yeah, definition, different types of definition. Yeah, so now I realize majority of my participants will say that it is for processing of information. Some will say it is for storing information, while the remaining number will say it is for storing and processing information. So that's what I will put into my research report. Repeat the same process for the other research questions, and in the end, you will get a complete research report. Is everybody okay? Can you visualize what is happening here? Yeah. Now, second strategy. Let's take a look at second strategy. Now, this second strategy, also there are a lot of proponents for this because they are familiar with using sticky notes. Yeah? These sticky notes are very magical in the sense that you can stick it on the wall and then you can take it out, stick it somewhere else. So that's why it's sticky notes, right? So there is a little bit of glue at the back of these notes, yeah, so that you can use different colors. Yeah? For example, now I will just write the important points, what is mentioned by this participant, or what I thought from that statute, from that cases, the judgment of the courts, I will put it into this sticky notes. Yeah? So in the end, I will rearrange the sticky notes, how I would have rearranged the pieces of paper from the strategy number 1 just now. Strategy number 1, we put it on the paper because it's not, put it on the table because it is not sticky, right? So it has to be on a flat surface. Rearrange them into small mountains. But here, you can rearrange them how you want because it's on the wall. Yeah? I have a good friend from a different faculty at University of Malaysia, and they are both husband and wife. They did PhD at the same time, yeah, not me. Yeah, I also completed my PhD at the same time during concurrent with my husband. But this is not my story. Yeah, this is the story of my friend. My friend, he is a he and a she, yeah, because husband and wife. The husband owns one wall of the house. The wife owns one wall of the house. Okay, it is for the analysis. They are using this strategy just to show you. They're not my only friends who do this. I have also other friends from different universities as well who are using the sticky notes method, yeah? Sticky notes approach. Why? Because it's easier for them to see. You can see them on the wall so that you can reseal it when they want it. So at the end of the day, a compilation of all the sticky notes about objective number 1, you will have rearranged it nicely so that we can report it into the research report later on. Moving on to objective number 2 is also the same thing. Moving on to objective number 3 is also the same thing. Is everybody still okay? Okay, all right. Next, strategy number 3. After a while, people say, researchers, they say, it's quite taking a lot of effort. It's not a bad thing, but it just takes a lot of effort to manage your data and manage the important points in the data. Why not we just use computer program? In the computer program, you can create tables in Microsoft Word or Excel. Yeah, so in Word, you just insert table, or in Excel, just put the entry over there. Yeah. So here it goes. For example, you can have different themes, different objectives. Under the objectives, you have the themes. Under the themes, you have the statements from the participants or the ideas. For example, just now I asked the first question, what is hacking? Yeah. Apakah itu hacking? What is hacking? So from hacking, how you define it, I will put into this table. Another person, I'll put into that table. And then I'm going to look at the similarities or the differences. Oh, okay. It says participant number 1 and participant number 10, they actually agree that hacking is entering a computer system without authority. If, for example, just example. Yeah. So a different group of people, yeah, for that particular question will answer it differently. So I'm just going to put it into the table. Okay, so you can do this in any applications, but I think the most common ones is people will be doing that on Word or Excel. Yeah, on Word or Excel. Okay, so I'm also gonna go for also we are going to put that into the report later on. Strategy number 4 is we can use computer softwares. Computer softwares that fall within the category of computer-aided qualitative data analysis software. Computer-aided data analysis software. Okay, like Atlas TI. Yeah, I also put there the URL that you can go to in Vivo, QSR International, Max QDA, as well as Square Course, yeah, using computer software. So how does using computer software work? Okay, it will be, how do I say this? It will help us a lot in going through our data, which comes to the second aim of the session today. Yeah? The first session is I want to conceptualize to everyone the process of data analysis according to Walcott, and also that is the process of changing the data from raw data into raw data into, how shall I say this, interpreted format. And just to share with everybody here, I am a proponent of Atlas TI, yeah? But my statements are not biased. Yeah? My statements are, how shall I say this, we can have supporters of this application, but it does not mean that one application is better than the other. Yeah? I always make it a point that any application that you use here, yeah, likewise, when I see anybody using Mendeley here, anybody using EndNote here, for example, so when you use Mendeley or EndNote, it's either one, right? Yeah. Why? Because they can do exactly the same thing. Likewise here, are you using iPhone or Android phone? Yeah, of course, there are pros and cons, the features, different features and everything, but they can help us achieve the same thing. Yeah, they can help us to get connected. We can browse internet, we can get information, we can communicate with our friends and family. For example, the major things are the same. Likewise here, at the CI and Vivo, Max QDA and Course as well, they can actually help you to achieve the same things. Yeah. So how does it work? It will work in this, how shall I say this? It will work to, if you're familiar with the pen and paper concept, you'll be familiar with these computers as well. Yeah. Why? Because we go through highlighting, but now no more printing, no more writing on the sticky notes, no more creating different tables in Word or Excel, but we are going to go into the software itself for the purpose of our analysis. Okay. If everybody is okay, I would like to further introduce about Atlas TI. Okay. Atlas TI. Okay, I intentionally left something on the right hand side here, but I inadvertently forgot to put there. Okay, I wanted to write, okay, but before I go to there, that will be the recent ones. I will just walk you through a little bit about the development of FLCI. Okay? It's a software for qualitative data analysis, nothing to sell here. You don't have to worry. I'm not forcing anyone to buy. Okay? So you can just take a look at the potential of using this for our legal research. Okay? 1989, bottom here, it started as a research project at the Technical University of Berlin. Yeah, a number of researchers from different disciplines, educators, educational psychologists, engineers, they come and work on a research project to come up with a prototype for text interpretation. So TI here refers to text interpretation. Yeah, and then when they see it was developed, so they say, why not we come up with a commercial version? So the first commercial version came out in 1993. Yeah, moving forward, we have different versions. We also have for the Mac interface, Windows interface, for Android, for iPad version is also available. In the year 2014, they introduced the Mac version. In the year 2016, they have the FLCI 8 Windows. So I'm going to do this now. I want to put here some information here. For example, just going to type it here. Yeah. These slides I will also be sharing with the CPS for your reference, just in case you feel like going through it later on. I'm gonna versions of FLCI, the ones that we are so small. Okay, all right. So versions of FLCI. Okay. Number one, because the current versions is number one is desktop version 9 for Windows computer. And then we have version 9 for MacBook. Yeah. And then we have the mobile for Android. Mobile for Android. So I'm using an Android here. I can just go to Google Play Store and key in FLCI. I can download it. It's a freeware, so you can just download it onto your computer. So you can put your information into the for the purpose of analysis. You can go and carry out interviews straight away, record into FLCI. So later on you can listen and you can code it accordingly. For example, yeah, mobile for Android. We also have mobile for iPad. Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't support iPhones. So for Apple users, it will support iPad. Yeah, iPad. And finally, will be FLCI Web, which I also wish to share a little bit with everyone today. How is it possible for FLCI Web? Yeah. Now versions number 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are how do I see this? Versions 1, 2, 3, and 4 are device specific. Once you create a project in this one, it will be in this device. Once I put it into my MacBook, it will be in my MacBook. Once I put it into my Windows, it will be in my Windows. Of course, after that, I can change it accordingly. I mean, I can export from Windows to desktop, Windows to MacBook, from MacBook to Windows. Yeah, for example, I'm done typing. So I'm just gonna do this. Okay. So I can export my projects from number 1 to number 2, in vice versa, number 2 into number 1. For 3 and 4 at the moment, it only supports exporting out. So the projects I can create in my Android or my iPad, and then I can export it to the cloud. From the cloud, I can import it into Windows desktop or MacBook for further analysis, because the mobile versions are free, so there are limited features inside there. For more features, I will definitely go to the Windows computer or my MacBook for that purpose. But version 5 is not device specific. Version 5 for FLCI Web by the name, you would understand that it is hosted on the web or hosted on the cloud, so that your projects, you don't need to install it on the computer. You can access your analysis project on the cloud. Right, so having said that, let me just go straight here. Okay. A little bit on the usage of FCI in legal research. One report, this is my own report, Munirah Muhammad, using Atlas CI 7 for researching the social legal implications of ICT adoption in the justice system. This is part of my PhD research, but I take out the methodology part because I was explaining about how I use FCI 7. So quite a long time ago, I used FCI 7. And then it came 8 and then now 9 already. But during my reporting here, it is for FCI 7. So it is mentioned here, what are the features in FCI that can help me greatly with my legal research? The features of FCI which were utilized extensively include the feature number 1, primary documents manager, and then we have code manager, quotation manager, query tool, memo manager, and network views. But you don't have to worry about that because I want to demonstrate in a short while the simplified version of it. This is my 4 years of work. Of course, I put it quite extensively in this paper. If you want to take a look, you can just go through this link. Okay, the experience in doing the qualitative analysis using a computer-aided software such as FCI proved to be significant decision by the researcher in making her work more systematic and eliminate problems associated with traditional manual analysis. Okay, during my time, in fact, maybe my small community, my friends are using from the law department, a lot of my friends, postgraduate friends, are doing manual analysis. Okay, but I decided to move away from manual analysis to use a software, okay, which helped me greatly with my analysis as well. Okay, so after that, I ended up teaching my friends tell their friends, so I ended up teaching the friends of the friends, so their friends tell their friends, so I ended up teaching the friends of the friends of the friends. Yeah, so in the end, yeah, I am now a consultant for Atlas CI, which I help not only legal researchers, I also help any researcher who wants to analyze their data and to harness the powers of Atlas CI. But then again, I would like to put a caution statement here. Using a software is not compulsory. It's a choice. Okay? It's our choice if we want to use any computer application, because the managerial part, the administrative part, we can delegate to the software. As a researcher, what we do is we focus on what we do best, on what we are expected to do, to understand the data, the definition of data analysis, right? We want to make sense of the data. Using a computer software does not delegate the analysis process. Okay? The analysis is still being done by the researcher, because so far there is no software that can replace the human mind. Okay? Okay? Although we have the X-Men movies that the Sentinel is taking over the human mind, right? And I think that is not yet created for the legal research, okay? For any research out there, because the human mind is still the mastermind of that research. So it is wrong to say using a computer software, the researcher will not be learning things, okay? Because I hear that from time to time, they say, you're doing masters, you're doing PhD, go and do it yourself now. Why do you want to get a software to do that? I like to put a caution statement here that the software cannot do things on its own because it cannot think. It can only do things based on what we give instruction for it to do. If you instruct it properly, then it can help you to search this document, for example, to search whatever important information from there. Okay, I hope that is clear, okay? So far. So let me just go to this article if it can show. You can show. Still loading? Yes, it is. Okay. It's loading. Meanwhile, if you do have any questions, yeah, if you do have any questions, you can. Oops, it's the wrong link, I think. Yeah. I will correct the link before I share next time. Yeah, usage of LTCI. This is the first one. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay, so that is the first usage of LTCI in legal research. Another one is Shabesta, the one that I accidentally clicked just now. Well, I know what to do. Yeah, and oops, sorry. This one, it should be here. Just gonna. My mistake. Yeah, I wanted to show this to you actually. Okay, so oh yes. A lot of information. I will correct the link. Oh yeah, here is the proceedings. It's a proceeding of the user conference 2013. Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Using Atlas TI for research. Oh, here is the link actually. I accidentally gave the wrong link. It was on a usage of Atlas CI for the purpose of social legal implications of the courts in Malaysia. Okay, never mind, just showing you. And the second one would be the report by Shabesta, Content Analysis Software in Legal Research, a Proof of Concept using Atlas CI. It was published in Tilbert Law Review, and it was mentioned in conclusion, qualitative analysis programs such as Atlas CI can reduce the cognitive overload that comes with an increasing number of source documents due to the pervasive digitalization of society. We have a lot of information. You go into online database, you put one keyword and it already comes out a lot of references, a lot of articles that you can go through. So it will take some time as well. That said, content analysis software only supports legal doctrinal analysis and cannot replace a trained legal researcher. That's my thought as well, my view as well. The computer can only help us with any document that we may have, but it cannot take away what the trained legal researcher will think. Yeah, the mastermind is still the legal researcher due to the necessary coding decisions and subsequent interpretation. Even a human like us, we go into the software, still we need to give instruction. We need to decide what is the coding name that we want to give. Yeah, for example. So therefore, I think this has opened over here. Yeah, no, this one. Okay, it is mentioned here. Content analysis. Sorry. Okay. Right. So it is. They go through a number of research and found that the usage of Atlas TI in a legal research is minimal. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through footnote number 13. Did I miss it? Yeah, 11, 12. Okay, here. The purpose of this article is to explore the value of LTCI in conducting content analysis in law. While the use of LTCI is widespread in the social sciences, here I'm going to highlight that. While the use of LTCI is widespread in the social sciences, legal studies conducted with it remain rare. Yeah, remain rare. Let me just go through that. Here it says, Megan Woods and others, okay, says that it is very minimal. One of the few exceptions is Muhammad. Yeah, you use Atlas CI. See, I don't know. So this is my article that I shared how I use Atlas CI extensively. Yeah, and it's also admitted here. Yeah, but this was, when was this published? This was published in 2018. Yeah, 2018. Today, many other people are using. Many other people who are conducting legal research are also using Atlas CI. So I suppose a lot of people are already engaging in that. So because of this paper is quite some time already, 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, so over the 3 years, a lot of papers have already been published as well on using Atlas CI in legal research. Yeah. Any questions so far? Yeah? If no questions, yeah, we are going to take a look, yeah, at the stages. Yeah, what was I saying about data analysis just now? Okay, now let me just do this. Put away the software. What do? We take a look at the data sources, we read through the data sources, from there we understand things and we put it into our write-up. Yeah, so easy. Number one is we get the documents. Number two, we read the documents. And number three, we generate output or we do the write-up, yeah, of our research report. Yeah. So therefore, this same process in ATLAS-CI is also the same. In other words, number one, you will add documents. You get ready the documents, and then you will read through the documents, and then you will generate the outputs for the purpose of write-up. Okay, for that purpose, I want to show you some examples. Yeah, examples over here. Number one is literature. Number two, statutes. Number three, cases, interviews, and survey data. Let me just go here. Okay, just a little bit. I am, okay. Okay. Right. Okay. I just want to make sure that I have this correctly. Some articles here. Okay. Some sample data that we can use for our sample data. Okay. NST. Okay. Interview. Likewise, Microsoft Word, and also interview too. Just simple things that I want to share today. Example, okay? All right. Okay, good. Yeah. So these are the sample data that I want to use. I can have statutes, and how we deal with statutes is the same as how we deal with cases as well. We have them in PDF formats, and also some articles. I got Apudure 2017, Manap 2012, Marcon 2019, and a New Straits Times article in 2017. Yeah. Okay, just this, and also I have sample data in the form of interview. Yeah, of interview one with the police and interview two with the inmate. Yeah, for example. Okay, all right. So this various types of data that we could be taking a look at for the legal research. Okay, so let's go here again. Number one, I want to add these documents. Okay, so because I want to introduce to you how we do it using the computer software, so I'm going to bring you to this ATLAS-CI version 9. Okay, ATLAS-CI version 9. Okay, this is the interface of it. And here I want to create a new project just to show you. And here is hacking project. Okay, project. Adding the documents to the project because I'm not going to go through each and every one of the features. Just I'm going to show you, demonstrate just the ones that are relevant. Okay, number one, yeah, is the home tab where it contains all the frequently used features or used menu. Now I'm going to add the documents. I'm just going to come here and then here. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring in the statute first. Okay. Here is the Computer Crimes Act. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Computer Crimes Act, only part of it because I'm referring to section 4, sections 3 and 4. I'm going to bring it and drag it to the idea here. And this is, and it will already be added to the project. It's simple. Yeah. Also, I'm going to put in some references as well. And references from the article. Oops, sorry. Oh. just open the document. Okay. Articles. Okay. So far, I have one article. It comes from the Computer Crimes Act. And then I have 3 articles. Actually, I can add all of them at the same time. Just that I want to demonstrate to you. Yeah. And we also have from newspaper article. Yeah. Here, yeah, it shows here, newspaper article. So the media type is PDF. It will also tell us. And I have 2 interviews that I want to demonstrate to you as well. Like that. Yeah. Later on, I want to add on survey data, the ones that you have answered just now. Yeah. All right. So let me just do this. Yeah. For each of these, I can just open them by double clicking here, and I can see all the contents. Okay. I can see all the contents as well. So reading through them is just a breeze. I can just read through these articles, like how you reading, how you read your PDF documents as well. Yeah, NST articles, for example. Let me just make it bigger. Yeah, and interviews as well. This is in textual format. Yeah, so very simple answers here. Make it bigger a little bit because you're saying this. Likewise, this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it bigger as well. I can just go and make it bigger. Okay, all right. So raw data already in. These are the raw data, but I have not yet started with the analysis. Yeah. Let me just open my document manager again. So you see some of the articles, they have their own categorization, correct? And this categorization, for example, I have here 3 articles. Yeah, I want to group them accordingly. So it says here, no document group, like you're putting into folders. So I'm going to put articles into folder of to the articles. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Likewise here, interviews as well. Yeah. Interviews. Now, today, I want to analyze only the interviews. So I can just click on interviews and it will show me only the documents within the group of interviews so that I can just focus on these 2. What if I want to do literature review, yeah, or I want to go through the journal article, yeah, and as well, if I click on the empty area, it will just show me again all these articles. So here is a newspaper article. Later on, when I have other newspaper articles, I can just add on to the list. Okay. So what is it that I am showing you now? It is for the management of the data that we have. We're managing it. We're getting HCI to manage the data for us. But still, the reading, we have to do it ourselves. Okay. Now, having said that, grouping here will help us a lot with the management of data. Now, I'm just going to go through my Google form just now. Okay. This is the Google form. I have 22 responses. Oh, here is the responses. Okay. These responses I have from various universities. I have from different gender, different universities, and then I come to what is computer hacking, why is hacking illegal. So I'm going to download this document. Okay, download CSV. Open it. Now I want to put this because I want to analyze them in HCI. Simple form for webinar participants. Did I click that correctly? I did. Okay. All right. Meanwhile, if you do have any questions, you can just type in the chat box. Okay. All right. So this is it. I want to save this document as Excel. Yeah. Save as Excel. Where I want to put it on my, oops, sorry. I want to save it on my desktop just for easier retrieval so that I can show you after this. Desktop, okay. Simple form for webinar participants. All right. Okay. What are the 2 aspects that I want to analyze? It will be this one. What is computer hacking? Why is hacking illegal? Because now during COVID-19, a lot of people are resorting to online mode of data collection. We seldom go and meet people, yeah, unless it's very, very You cannot avoid them, for example. Oops, sorry. You cannot avoid, so you have to go. Why it's illegal? Okay, and then we have some background information like the name, the gender, the institution, yeah, and then and then the question. I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, I need to do some editing to this form so I can put it into HTCI. Yeah. Number one is the nickname. Nickname, the HTCI will regard it as the document's name. So if I have 22 responses, HTCI will be adding 22 further documents after this because I put an exclamation mark here. It serves as my instructions to HTCI. Likewise here, gender. Why? Gender is important because I want to group them accordingly. I don't want to drag and drop one by one. Now it's going to be semi-automatic already. So when I go for gender, so it will be colon. Also, institution is going to be colon. Yeah. And then I don't put anything here for what is computer hacking and why is hacking illegal. Yeah, because those are the ones that I want to analyze in HTCI in a short while. Yeah, so I'm going to save it. Save the document and close the document. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, where is it? Here. Yeah. Now, I will just go to import export, choose survey, and then I will go to my desktop, right? In my desktop, I will take that form and open it. Yeah. At the moment, I have 7 articles, and now I have already added 22 survey data. Yeah, 22 survey data. That one comes from just now. Yeah, and likewise, they have been added to the groupings automatically. And that is very, very strong feature, if you ask me. Yeah, from the survey form that they will add these documents. Today, I want to analyze only the female responses. 19 of them. Today, I want to analyze only the male responses. I want to analyze only from IIUM. I only want to analyze from others and from UUM. Okay, for example, yeah, I can also take a look at who are the female from IIUM. Yeah, female from IIUM. I can see that you are 15 of you. Yeah, 15 of you are from the one who have responded to the survey just now. 15 are from are female from IIUM. Okay, for example, the last type of data that I want to show you is data from Mendeley. Okay, for example. Okay, why? Because literature is very important as well. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to be logged in. Sorry. Let me just see if I can remember the password. I remember the password. I can't remember the password. Yeah. So let me just resume share. I can't remember the password. Okay. Okay. Sports. But it's not here. Okay, no problem. I can use different documents here. You do realize when we have built a library database for our Mendeley, it has documents inside. We can also bring these documents into HTCI. So some people, one of the common questions is, people will ask, how can I synchronize between my Mendeley with HTCI? Yeah? The reason being, Mendeley can help us with the bibliographic reference management, but HTCI can help us with the content analysis. When you are reading, you can put the labels accordingly, yeah, for the purpose of our analysis. So a lot of types of data that I have shared here. Yeah? This is the last one I want to share. But other than that, there are also other things. For example, here, Twitter data, we have also one paper, is not yet published. Once it's published, I can share the link. Analyzing Twitter data on cybersecurity, yeah, for example, using HTCI. Evernote is also Evernote is also one of the data sources. Reference manager is what we're doing now. And then survey data, the ones that we have added. Okay, and codebook and document groups, we're not going to go through them today. Okay, so from here, I will just add these documents. I can have, different documents published in 2021, 2030. So I'm just going to add all. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. Add all, and I want to export them onto my desktop again. Yeah, my collection in XML format. Let me just take a look at my desktop. How does it look like? The manually data. Here it is. Yeah, this is my collection XML, and this is the survey data just now. Yeah, so this document, this XML file contains the meta information for the purpose of automatic grouping as well. So I'm just going to put it here. I'm just adding import export reference manager. Go to my desktop just now and choose my collection.xml. Here, I can decide what do I want to put as the grouping. Create document groups from, I want to take the journal name as well as the year. How I name my documents is going to be author year title. And if the full document is not available, if PDF is available, PDF will be added. If PDF is not available, the abstract will be added. If the PDF and the abstract is not available, ATCI will tell us that they cannot import it. So I'm now importing. At the moment, I have 29 documents over here. Now it is adding my documents from Mendeley. Okay. Yay. Okay, so here I have one document from 2003, one document from 2010, one document from 2015, one from 2019, and two from the year 2021. Likewise, here it comes for the journal name. Yeah, if I have two documents, then they will be shown two. Automatic grouping of the documents from Mendeley into ATCI so that it will be easier for me. Today, I want to read articles published in 2020 only. Today, I want to read articles on 2019 only. On 2021 only. Okay, for example, you can just click it over here and it will be shown over here. Everybody okay? We're moving on. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is it? Adding documents, literature, statute cases, interviews, yes, survey data. Now we want to go through the document. We want to go through. Now, if you do have audio, video, you can also put in at the end. You have images, but I'm not sharing it today because I'm focusing on the types of data that is normally used in legal research. Okay? Literature, statutes, cases, interviews, and survey data. Yeah, literature is number one. I should have done that first, right? Yeah. And then we read and understand. There are a lot of features in ATCI. You're familiar with word cloud, yeah, word cloud and word list, for example. Let me just show you what do I mean by that. Word cloud is, today I want to read article by, let me just go newspaper article, NST, okay. Cashier fine 6,000 for unauthorized access. Okay, for example, this one. I want to see a word cloud about the breakdown of the articles, a breakdown of the words available here. I will just go to the word cloud. Okay, so here it shows the wordings being mentioned in that article plus how many times. For example, the word cut was mentioned 14 times. Unauthorized was mentioned 8 times. Fine. What is this? Yeah, probably wrong typo. Access 7 times. Cashier. So these are the words frequently used. I can change articles as well. I want to go to Computer Crimes Act. These are the words available in short section. Yeah, just a little bit because I did not put the entire Computer Crimes Act just now. I just put one section. What about the article by Markov 2019? These are the words frequently being used over here. I can also exclude because here you can see Dan, Yang, right? These are Malay, this is Malay article. So I can just go to edit over here, import list from Malay. Let me just go to Malay. I'm sorry, this might be a little bit confusing. So I try to make it as fast as possible. Okay. Malay. Yay. Okay. Now I'm going to go to, where's my document just now? Okay, word cloud. And then I want to exclude the Malay ones. Yeah. It will let me it will show me only the wordings that are unique words, yeah, in Malay language. And if I move on to Apadure, this is an English article. Of the is there, so I can change it from to English. So, sorry, not this one. Yeah, Apadure. Computer was mentioned 127 times. Yeah, that's the first one. The second one is I can also do this article Apadure. Instead of going for the word cloud, I can go to word list and it will tell me how many times. Now, why is this important? Why is it important I'm sharing with you? Is that sometimes we get an article which is blank article, right? Not blank article. It's a cold ice article. It's the first time that we go through it. So it takes some time for us to zoom in, right? Zoom. Keyword. Oh, zoom, keyword, for example. So that's in the past. Yeah, we don't do that anymore because you don't take a look at that article and then zoom. It's like getting a general idea. What does that article talk about? Now we have this ATCI to help us with the how many times that word appears so that I can get a general idea. This article by Apudure is talking about computer, Malaysian law, crime, security, crimes, hacking, act, access, journal. So these are the ones that are being repeatedly mentioned in that article. The assumption is the more repeated it is mentioned, the higher the higher the frequency, yeah, the more discussion is given to it in the paper article. For example, let me go for interview. Interview with the police, yeah, for example. Likewise, it's the same thing. Yeah, computer, crime, interview, okay. People, access, act, authority, crimes. These are the words being mentioned in that article still. Okay, that's the first one. What we can do. Second one is coding. Coding, definitely we have to go back to the research questions and objective. So what questions are we looking at? Let me just go very quickly. Then 11:30. Okay, so let me just go very quickly for the interview, for example, with the inmate. What do you understand by the term hacking? Why do you do it? Because now we want to say to understand why people do it. Yeah, what is the punishment that you get? Yeah, for example, these are the things. Let me just go to this is for the inmate. I want to go for the police here. Yeah. Why people do this? So what constitutes the crime of hacking? Why do you think people resort to this crime? The reason why people do it, yeah, as well as why it is illegal. Yeah. And also section 4. Okay, this is the authority for computer hacking with ulterior motive. Yeah. Likewise, when I take a look at your answers as well, yeah, what is computer hacking? So we ask that question so that we can better understand the answers. Okay. All right. So here, let me just begin with an act. Yeah, with the act. I go very quickly because I put it here. Okay, this section 3 talks about hacking. Section 4 talks about hacking with ulterior motive, yeah, unauthorized access with intent to commit or facilitate a further offense. So probably now we can take a look at what are the elements of hacking. Although I'm focusing on section 4, we still have to read section 3 because the definition of section 4 is a person shall be guilty of an offense under this section if he commits the offense in section 3. So we have to read with section 3 plus the intention over here. Okay. So let's go here. If causes a computer to perform any function to secure access. So this is the statement that is talking about causing to perform function, causing computer to perform function. So let's go here, apply code, causing computer to perform function. Yeah. Okay, all right. Let me just stop there because it's quite long. Okay, so you can see when I do that, the system, the ATCI system already tells me it is the first element. Yeah. Now the second element, he is unauthorized. Yeah. No authority. I'm just going to show it here. No authority. Yeah. Right. No authority plus. Okay. And then finally, with knowledge. With knowledge. knowledge that he access, and no authority. Okay, he must have knowledge lah. Okay, so these are the elements. Okay, so therefore, what I am talking about is we are adding on to the list over here for the codes. Okay, causing authority, no authority, causing computer to perform, no authority, and with knowledge. Those are the elements of hacking. Let's take a look at what we mentioned in the survey form just now. Okay. When a person is able to access the computer without legal authority, oh, that's good. Yeah, without legal authorization, no authority. Yeah, so I'm just going to go here, no authority. I'm just going to bring it and drop it here. So you see, it has already been linked to it. Access the computer system. That's good. Able to access the computer system, causing the computer perform function. Access lah here. Okay. All right. So you see, it's easy. Okay. Why? Because the different types of data. Let me just go to the article on the NST just now. Okay. Withdrawn, unauthorized cut. Unauthorized is also important, belonging to housewife of another person. Let me just go here is no authority because unauthorized ATM card. Withdraw 10,000 ringgit from an ATM, yeah, from ATM that is causing the computer to perform function. So you see, it's very easy. We are actually linking back what we find from different data sources to the same codes. So in the end, I can have the codes. Okay, for example, over here, I just go through some of the data just to show you. Codes from survey import now. Causing computer to perform, no authority, and with knowledge is the elements of computer hacking. Okay, elements of computer hacking. So you see, even though it has 3 codes only, yeah, 3 codes. Can we imagine when we are doing it on our articles, we will highlight it and then we will give a label to it. You write on the right hand side, or you just put the fluorescent color sticky note sign here, for example, is blue color, green color, yellow color, just to show that's the important point. The same thing applies in here as well, yeah, because you will be labeling that statement with different label codes. Yeah, for example here. Okay, let me just go to another function here. The first one is word cloud or word list. We've seen that, and then coding. Now this second stage, the orange color, I can't say box here. Yeah, this image, yeah, here it is to help us to go through and understand our data. It can be in sections, it can be in court cases, it can be in different objectives. Just now I did for objective number 1. How do we conceptualize computer hacking? Yeah? And for second objective, why do people do that? The third objective, why is the punishment? The fourth objective, why is it illegal? Yeah, for example, it is, you can repeat the same process. Yeah? Each time you go for that, you give a label name. Now we come to the search and code. Yes, search and code is the last thing I want to share with you. What is, how many of you are familiar with Control F? Yeah? Control F or Command F for MacBook. Control F to search. Yeah? It is to search. Let me just go and demonstrate just a little bit. Article by Mana, maybe. Yeah. Okay, cyber crimes. Yeah. Right. Interesting. Yeah. Also, okay, here I want to do a search and code function. I want to search the word of on this article. Yeah, article by Mana, and then continue. I want to find any sentence that contain the word crime. Yeah, or let me put crime lah, cyber crime. Is there any? Yeah, or what is the word that I can use? Crime lah, crime. A computer. I know computer is nice. Now, when I put the word computer, because I saw the word computer here, computer. Yeah, and now, ATC also proposes for me some keywords that I can use, okay? The synonyms. I can find the word program, information, document, device, gadget, machine, what else? Motor, okay? If I want, okay? And okay, all right. Meaning, apart from looking for the word crime, ETC also proposes for me some synonyms. So I have chosen the synonyms 7 out of 21. So ETC will not only find the word computer here, it will also help me to find all of the words that I have, the synonyms there. Okay, and I can also add in other information that I want here. Computer, okay, maybe I want crime. So it's going to be computer crime in a particular sentence. Yeah, if you want that, otherwise not also can. Yeah. Now include inflected forms means if I choose the word run, R-U-N, it will automatically include paragraphs with running, runs, and ran as well. I will always suggest include inflected forms. Yeah. And then show results. That is, I will find for me any sentences containing the word computer and crime in the same sentence. Okay, so here is the first one. Let me just show this. Yeah, Malaysian government has proactively enacted a cybercrime related law in the Computer Crimes Act. Ooh, okay. I think this is important. So this I will be putting it to be history of Computer Crimes Act. Yeah. And the second one, crimes so important in the computer. Yeah. So when I do that, you see, ETCI has already added the code, yeah, for this statement. Here, I want to find definition. Definition of computer crime. Likewise here, concept computer crime. Now, assuming, let me just go a little bit here. Here is the name of the act. Okay, cybercrime. Okay, now I'm just supposing that I choose, let me just bring it over here. This is actually to me causing computer to perform function. Instead of typing over here, I can also choose any one of the codes that are available here, causing computer. Okay. Here, computer crime legislation, crimes as information theft. Okay, coding. Likewise, I can choose any one of these. I will say no authority, example. So you see how easy it is, because last time we used Control F to find the words. Now we can use search and code, because when FCS search for our document, so for the important points, we can also give instructions what code names do I want to put it. If you use the search and code function, you do not need to go through the original article anymore. Does not mean you cannot. If you want to go, you can just go. Yeah. So what I do, I will just go through this text search. Then again, it cannot give unless you give instruction. Yeah? So that's why I say the human mind is still important. Going through the data, it just changed the interface for us to do it. But we still have to read through in order to find whatever important points that we want. Okay? Okay, all right. Is everybody okay? Are you still following me? Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to save the project. Oops, sorry. If no questions, I want to move on to the outputs. Okay? This is the last step. The first step is we add the documents. Number 2, we go through the documents. Even though I have showed you in a few minutes only, okay? Word cloud, word list, coding, search and code, technically it's easy. Okay? Meaning you can either apply code, drag and drop, or just choose from the search and code results just now. Okay? Very easy. But in reality, in real life, when you go through your data, interviews, statutes, cases, for example, it will take some time, definitely, because we have to read and then understand. So here just now, I do it very quickly, assuming that we are all already on the same page. But if it is a new article, new statute you're referring to, new policy or guideline that you're referring to, then it might take some time. But you don't have to worry, because that's part of the process. Now imagine if you don't use ATCI. So the potential is to use. My encouragement is for you to use, but it's not compulsory. Yeah? If you think that it's suitable, then why not? It will take away all the administrative parts so that the management of the data and management of the important points will be there to help us, to guide us towards understanding what is there. Okay, in order to report, let me just go back to my list of codes over here. I have 8 codes so far. 8 codes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so which ones are referring to here? Elements of computer hacking, for example, I have 4, 4, and 1 with knowledge, for example. So here, this one is to answer my research question number. Let me just rename it so that I will know that this is for RQ1. If I have RQ2, so it will just be RQ1, RQ2, RQ3. Okay, for example, whereby I can come and do coding over here as well. Okay, right. What else? Okay, yeah, this one. To create visual as well as textual output. Okay, now I have shown you in a Windows computer. I intentionally do not showcase for MacBook computer because it's 90% same interface. But I do want to share with you the ATCI web. Yeah, just a little bit here. Yeah. Okay, just one example. Okay. Okay, all right. So this is the interface of my ATCI web. The ones that you see just now, this is the interface of the ATCI desktop for Windows version 9. What I am showcasing now is ATCI web. Okay, a few projects that I have already worked on using ATCI webs, particularly because it allows for collaborative analysis. Collaborative in the sense that I analyze the same set of data with my friends, yeah, and I analyze with my friends as well over here, as well as over here. Yeah. AR in legal studies, CRT interviews, court recording and transcription interviews, cyberbullying laws. The ones that I want to showcase here, yeah, with permission, is the cyberbullying law project. Yeah. When I click on this, there will be a lot of documents, the ones that I have added, but I'm only focusing on one, which is the academician. Yeah, academician. So you will see over here, different questions, okay? 4 research questions, but I have different interview questions. For example, what do you understand by the term bullying? Here is conceptualizing. Describe your involvement. Yeah? What are the types of cyberbullying, for example? How adequate is the Malaysian law in regulating cyberbullying? So you will see, once my friend have coded it accordingly. So here, the code harassment was done by my friend, Dr. Ahmad, yeah, on October 26th. Likewise, distress, fear, dangerous, yeah, taunting, a specific section, inadequate laws, yeah, for example, Dr. Ahmad. And then that's me, yeah, to conduct comparative studies on legislation of other countries, specific laws, Munirah, yeah, here, effective laws. Yes, suitable laws. It's the ones that I get. My friends will also do that. Here is Dr. Azlina. Yeah, visibility. What's the question? Why do you think people commit? Yeah, in control, in power. Why do you think people become victims? Visibility, sharing of information. What are the impacts of cyberbullying? Yeah, for example. And also my friend to propose other governing modalities. For example, here, what are the initiatives? Campaign, yeah, review the laws, self-regulation, for example. So my friends here is Dr. Yusra. Yeah. Also, just to share with you, once we do that, because it's placed on the web, yeah, other researchers can access the researchers that I give access to lah. Okay, I will invite them as collaborators to my project. If I don't invite them, they cannot come in. Okay, in the end, yeah, we exported this project to the desktop version for us to create the outputs. Okay, so what type of outputs? Numerous outputs that we can generate, but the ones that I want to share with you, only two which are relevant for the legal research. Number one is visual output. It's output in the form of visual, so that you're familiar with mind mapping. Yeah, so it's the same. You have a central idea at the middle, and then you have small branches going out, and then other small branches going out. We can also create output in the form of textual. Yeah, I'm going to share with you these both types of output. For example, visual. For research question number 1 on the elements of computer hacking, so I will just right click and choose open network, so that it will tell me what are the elements of computer hacking. For example, here, maybe a little bit bigger because very small. Yeah. Okay, I hope you can see them. Yeah. Elements of computer hacking: no authority, with knowledge, access, no authority, causing computer to perform function. I can also change the direction that we are going. I want to have it in organic, for example. Okay. Here is the idea. So what makes me think that this comes from there? So I will just bring the quotations in. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Brings the quotation in. Likewise, this one. Yeah. Neighbors, quotation. Likewise, neighbors, quotations. Okay, change this one, circular single star. Oops, not that one. Organic. Yeah, I think this would make some sense. Okay, so it will tell me these three things. I can also, if I want to change the color. For example, this one will be green. The ideas will also be green. Yeah, the main ideas, and the outside will, this one may be green as well. Why can't change color? Okay, yeah. Code group cannot change color. Okay, so what are the elements of computer hacking? Elements of computer hacking is causing computer to perform function as mentioned here. Okay, here is the admission from the newspaper just now. Yeah, and also how do I do that? Yeah. And here it will be with knowledge or access, knows at the time when he causes the computer, as well as no authority. So I did not create this. I did not create this visual output. This is created by my earlier analysis just now. Because what I did was I just understand my attempt to understand what does that statement say. What does that statement from the act, from the case, from the newspaper reports, yeah, from the articles for that matter. What do they say? So from there, I will give specific label names. In the end, the label names, I can visualize it like this, which shows me the findings for my answer, the findings for my question. What are the elements of computer hacking? The first one, the second one, and the first one, the second one, and the third one. So I also have evidence to support. Yeah, these are the statements about the evidence to support as well. Now, can you imagine if you are not, for example, the audience here, I diversified background. If you're not from legal background, for example, you're conducting research in any area as well, the same principle applies, whereby you are guided by your research questions and objective. You have the codes, okay, to indicate that these are your findings for that particular question. What is your evidence to say that this is the findings? These are the statements coming from the data that you have. So this is what I asked. What is an elephant? A big trunk, big legs, a big body, for example. So what talks about big body statements? What talks about big trunk statements? What talks about big ears? Yeah, for example, these are the statements. You will be reporting this into your report later on. Okay, it's like, this is the question, these are the results, these are what the participants are saying, these are what the statutes are saying, these are what the survey data was saying, for example. And you can, of course, definitely you can export this. I'm going to export it to my desktop, for example. RQ1. Why export? Because I want to put it into my PowerPoint presentation after this. Here, elements of computer hacking, for example. as an image in PNG format. I can just insert it into my PowerPoint presentation or into my Microsoft Word report. Yeah, because these results, I did not create them myself. This result, how shall I say, the analysis was done by me, but this diagram was not created by me automatically, was not created by me manually. Yeah, it was created automatically by the Atlas CI system. Okay, to conclude, the last one will be the textual. Yeah, the textual one. Here it is for textual. Okay, all right, let me just go here from the code manager. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I'll just go to report over here. And I want comments, quotations, create report, generating report. So this report will be editable in Microsoft Word. Okay, so using computer to perform. It comes from Computer Crimes Act says that article by Manap 2010 says this. Article in NST says that alpha, okay, our survey data just now mentioned, able to access the computer system. Likewise, all the codes will also be there. So now you remember the ones that I said, code A, code B, code C just now. So when you want to retrieve it, this is it. Yeah, this is the compilation of everything that we have highlighted from each and every one of our articles or our data, and to produce them in the format of Word divided by the different code names. Code name number 1, these are the statements. Code name number 2, this is the statement. Code name number 3, number 4, number 5. Okay. Likewise, what is computer hacking? Because this is the survey data just now. Okay. What is computer hacking? These are the compilation of what everybody has mentioned about computer hacking. Why is hacking illegal? This also comes from the survey data. Okay, so what are you going to do with this report? This will serve as a guideline in us writing the research report later on. Okay, let's just go make it big. Okay, all right. So some useful links that you can refer to on how to use Atlas CI. I just give you a little dots in what Atlas CI can do, what I think is relevant for legal research, and what I why I highly recommend my students, my course participants, as well as the webinar participants today. Please consider if Atlas CI is a useful, how shall I say, useful tool, yeah, for the purpose of your analysis. You can come to our official website, quick tour and manuals, yeah, YouTube pages, YouTube page, not pages, YouTube page for official YouTube page at CI. And we also have a reference book here. And this is some of our works, some of my work and my team works, okay, on the survey data and reflections analysis using ATCI. For example, here we have an impact of think, pair, share, and wait time on teaching and learning undergraduates, and we tested this on our law students, okay, final year law students, published in the Journal of Academic Research in Business and Social Sciences. We also have an article, We Hear You, We Understand You, using VAC survey to understand first year law learners in ISMOI. Okay. Also, we analyzed the survey data reflection using Atlas CI, and final one, roles of higher education institution in producing holistic graduates. Okay. That's it. Okay. I think I am within time. Let me just take a look. Yeah, 11:56. Do you have any questions that you want to ask? Yeah. If you don't have questions, or while you're thinking about what questions you want to ask, I want to bring you to the website of ATCI. A lot of information that you can get from there. Let me just go here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can just go here. ATCI.com. Maybe you cannot think of a question yet, no problem. You can just come to our website. A lot of information on top here. You will see the type of products that we have. Major features I've already shared in this webinar today. Support, learning. Support is if you need further support. For example, we have learning, free training premium training videos. It will bring you back to the YouTube channel, quick tours and manuals, conferences. I have joined 2 conferences of ATCI User Conference in Berlin. Some time ago, we couldn't go because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Hopefully, in future, we can work out something. A research blog, a lot of information as well. You can find some of my articles as well in the research blog. You can just come here and we'll come to ATCI research page. Automatic coding tools, self-course, cut dust, create news. A lot of information that you can find. So please take a look at our websites. Institution, my ATCI is the account. I also have my own account on ATCI. And if you're interested to know, maybe you can download the trial version first over here, or try the ATCI web, actually, and get to know the pricing of the ATCI. No compulsion here. You can just take a look. Educational, student, non-commercial, commercial version, for example. All right. So I think I have come to the end of my session. I see that there are no questions. I hope I have put forward my thoughts and you can also understand about what is it that I want to share here. I'm returning to Fatia if you're still around.
Okay,
Thank you so much, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank CPS IIUM for inviting me, and also to all the webinar participants here. I'm so glad to have you on the webinar today. Thank you for supporting CPS programs. That's it. Over to you, Fatia.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Munirah, for such interesting and informative presentation. I learned a lot from you, actually. So, Doctor, I have one question. Just now you showed me like how to use Atlas TI by using articles, interviews, and so on. How about if the article I use have figures, tables? Can Atlas TI extract those tables and figures? I mean, can they differentiate the figures and tables?
Yes, they can, provided we code the figures and tables based on like you're cropping an image. Let me just share my screen for 1 minute here. I know that we are already at the end of the session.
Okay, sure, Doctor.
Just go to one very quick article. Maybe, I'm not sure if it is here. Do we have any law articles? Very seldom to have images, but we do have tables from time to time. Let me just go. Probably we will have here. Not here as well. Image of a person. Article markup. Any? Oh, newspaper. Yes, we do have newspaper here. Newspaper, like we have an image here. Maybe just make it a little bit smaller so that you will see it entirely. If this is an image, you can crop it like you are cropping an image, Fatia. Here. And then I'm going to apply code to be quad hammer. So it will be quad hammer this part has been coded with quad hammer. Let me just go to WhatsApp icon. Oops, sorry. WhatsApp icon, apply code. Likewise, if it is a table or a paragraph for that matter, sometimes we do have literature that are protected, secured. You cannot highlight word per word on the word. So you can highlight that you are highlighting a paragraph, for example, like this. Like you're cropping an image. Here is action against hackers. So how does it look like in here? Let me just go to code manager. We have quad hammer just now. We also have WhatsApp image. And then what was the last one? Action against hackers. Okay, right, good. So I'm gonna create an output And here is what it looks like. Okay. This will be the paragraph that I have highlighted as an image just now. And here is the hammer. So it will come out nicely. Likewise, the WhatsApp image as well. Okay.
Okay, I see.
All right.
So that means we have to do it
individually.
individually.
Very useful. For example, we have secured PDF documents, right?
Yeah.
Very often. So you can highlight it like an image. Very useful.
I see. Okay, Doctor. That's a very good software. This is the first time I heard about this, actually, and I think that it will help me a lot after this. Okay, so last call. If you have any more questions from the participants.
So if there are no questions, there are only two reasons. Number one, my explanation is crystal clear that you understand it very well. Number two, the presentation was very blurry until you do not know what to ask. I hope it's the first one, Fatia.
Yeah. I think maybe some of them, this is the first time, as like me, this is the first time they know about the Atlas TI. So maybe after this, they will go and explore more. Okay, so maybe for the participants, if you have further questions, just now Dr. share her email. So I think maybe you guys can email her directly, can Doctor?
Boleh.
Yeah. So they have one question. May we know the class of Atlas TI from Doctor?
Wait, I'm typing something into the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, if you would like to know more, please join our group. Facebook. Okay. The group name is Atlas TI Researchers Group on Facebook. We have around, I think, a lot of members at the moment. You can ask questions, a lot of questions that you can ask, and take a look at the previous questions that people ask. Okay. About the pricing, I encourage you to go to the website atlasci.com. Okay. Just type it here. Yeah. Oh, you cannot click it. Why? HTTP. Okay, please come to our website at atlasci.com and click on the green button in order to get to know the pricing. If you're a student holding a student card, then the price is significantly reduced, but we need verification of studentship. You can be in contact with me, or you can straight away place order through the website. Either way, you can contact me to get a 10% coupon code, because all my participants will be entitled to 10% less.
Okay. More discount. So I think there is no more questions. But before that, I would like to remind to all the participants to time in your attendance and fill in the survey form. The link has been provided in the comment section. So I think on behalf of CPS IIUM, thank you very much, Dr. Munirah. It is such a great pleasure to have you today. Thank you so much, Doctor, and thank you everyone for attending to this webinar. And to all my fellow friends, I wish you all the best. And to you, Doctor, see you in the next webinar, inshallah.
Thank you so much, CPS.
Okay. So let's end our session with Surah Al-As and Tasbih Kafarah.
Thank you, Dr. Ani.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, Dato. Assalamualaikum.
Alhamdulillah.
Doktor, Facebook tu dia kata tak boleh masuk, tak ada content available.
So I'm putting here the correct link.
This content isn't available at the moment.
Cuba klik message yang terkini tu, sebab saya tersalah letak link. Salah ejaan S dengan T tu tertinggal dengan tadi.
Oh, saya klik.
I hope this one is okay.
Ya. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Doctor.
Please join us in the Facebook group.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome, everyone. All the best.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Dato,
Yes.
license saya dah expired, macam mana nak renew?
Boleh be in touch with me.
Okay, thank you Doktor.